What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Life has been a little crazy since you all saw me last, and to be honest with you, my mind has been all over the place. I've got so many content ideas for YouTube that I have found myself a little bit overwhelmed, and what has happened, instead of picking a direction to go with YouTube, I'm just kind of all over the place, and then I end up not posting any content. And I was laying in bed last night just thinking about what I wanted to do with YouTube, and there's just so many directions I could go with it. I feel like I have a lot of interest. I have some unique experiences, but I'm really struggling with picking a direction to go. And I thought, I'm just not posting any content because I'm overwhelmed. So why don't I just turn the camera on and I'm just going to speak to you guys like I would if you were sitting in front of me. And the intro to my channel, it says join me as I figure out my new life, a better life. And that's kind of what this video is, and may become a regular thing because I really don't know where I'm going. I have ideas, I have wishes, and I just can't seem to narrow my focus on anything specific, and then you just get caught in this cycle of creating absolutely nothing. So I am taking this opportunity to talk to you guys about it. What are you interested in? What would you like to see from this channel? And I can kind of give you an idea on where all my mind has been. But of course, there's my accident, which there's lots more to talk about that. I have a lot of experiences that happened during my 3-month hospital stay and rehab and just PT, and it's almost a year and a half later, and I'm still very much feeling the effects of that accident and the lifestyle change. So there's all of that content, but that's not all of me. There's so much more to me than that, and I don't want this channel to just be based off of a tragedy. So there's that content, and then I've got my years of experience as a paramedic. My husband's a paramedic. I've got over a decade. He's got well over 2 decades of experience working for the public, and lots of content there. That's my automatic cat feeder, which is well worth the investment if you have more than one cat. Well, even if you just have a fat cat, like you can set the portions, and you can set how often and what time. It's very customizable. I'll go ahead and drop a link in case you want one, but I love just filling it up and then forgetting about it, and that's great. It's also really funny when your cat hears it and they go berserk, or right before it's time for it to release, they'll kind of stalk around the food bowl. It's actually pretty funny, but I'll drop a link if you want one. Anyways, back to what I was saying, which was no idea. Oh, we were talking about content. So I even had an idea of, like, I've seen videos and YouTube channels, and I've seen videos on TikTok where you could do like a Reddit style, like people in public service or EMS could submit stories anonymously, and then I could read them and we could talk about them. I've got a lot of, there's a culture of toxicity in the private EMS, and I have got horror stories about private EMS, and that's a whole other avenue I could go down. I could go down crochet tutorials. We have, I don't even think we've talked about them on here yet, but we've got 4 little goats that free range. One of them's a fainting goat. Enjoy this video of my fainting goat.
He fainted.
But yeah, the goats provide lots of humor in our lives. We've had them for years. Mo is the boss and Mr. Personality. I hate his guts, but he is funny. And then this summer, we decided that we're getting chickens. And I'm super excited about that. Lee has wanted chickens for a long time, but I wasn't really into the idea because I was working and I knew all the early morning chores would fall on me, and I really wasn't interested. But now I'm interested, so hopefully that's happening like this spring with the chickens, and hopefully in 6 months we'll have eggs, and next year maybe we can add on to it. So there's like so much content that I could delve off into that I just don't know really where to start. And so maybe for now, until I figure that out, maybe for now I just sit down and do weekly vlogs or updates. My cat's going crazy in the background. She's got the zoomies. But a lot of you, I really enjoyed interacting with a lot of you, and a lot of you seem genuinely interested in how I'm doing and like what's going on in my life. And so for right now, until I figure out the future of this channel, I'll just bring you into my life and let you know what's going on. The other issue I've had as well is that I get a lot of comments on my YouTube, and I do read like the vast majority of them, but if I responded to all of them, it would just take too much time. And then so I respond to some occasionally, but then when I respond to one, I feel really bad that I'm not responding to other people, and I think I'm just like way over analyzing it and getting in my head, because I've been plagued my whole life with RBF. If you don't know what it is, Google it, but I have it, and I just don't want people to think that I don't care or don't sympathize or don't read comments or things like that. But I can't respond to all of them. And then I've made a few like email friends and Instagram friends, and I try to respond to those conversations, and then I've got just my family stuff going on. And so I've kind of gotten in my head and a little bit overstimulated with the texting and emailing and commenting and the whole social media thing, and so I've kind of just taken a step back and not been very good about responding back right now, and I apologize for that if you're one of those people and I haven't gotten back to you. You may need to try again, because I may have forgotten, which is not like me, but it is kind of a lot. I'm not somebody that talks to strangers easily, and since I've been doing this, that's something I've got to get used to. But what else? So my last video was the video I did about my other injuries, and then we talked about some of the internet trolls and YouTube comments I get. I got a good one this week. Somebody asked me, basically they asked me if they asked me, so they watched my part one Lee and I talked about the day of my accident, and it was like, I don't know how long, but it was a fairly long video and got pretty intense. And somebody commented on that, and they basically said, did your accident make your neck that fat, or has your neck already been that fat? And I was like, I really just don't even know how to answer that. And to top off what my friend Rachel, who we met through YouTube and chit chat back and forth, she commented and said like, you watched that whole video and that is what you took. Like, of all the questions you could have asked, that was the question. So I will answer it. I feel like I've always had a bigger neck. I don't really have a defined jawline. I never have. It's genetic. However, when I had my accident, I did have internal bleeding into my neck, and so my neck swelled up massively, and now it's back down to just the size it's going to be. I'm actually smaller now than I was when I had my accident. So just, I don't care if you call me fat, like whatever. I don't care, not one single bit. What I urge people to think about, because you're not gonna hurt my feelings, but somebody who is, I think right now I weigh like 170 pounds, which is overweight. But if you call, yeah, I'm overweight, but I'm not like, I'm not like Humpty Dumpty here. I'm not like, I'm not like a freak or anything, but like somebody that's 200 or 210 or anybody that's bigger than me, if you're sitting here calling me fat, how do you think it makes those people feel? Like, it's not about me, it's just about how you treat people in general. So just don't be an asshole. It's like people leave comments not realizing that there is a person behind the screen that's going to read them and not care what you think. No, I don't know. But since that video, I've kind of gone down several rabbit holes of what I want to do. I'm still stuck in the wheelchair. I still can't walk, but I have been crocheting a lot, and I reopened my Etsy store, which I will put in the description for you if you're interested. But I've made several hats. Got this guy. These are all women's hats. They're all nice and thick. And I made this one as like a, I don't know, I kind of had like a mommy and me thing in mind for like a little girl, little child. I thought that was cute. But and this pretty blue, and then these are just like men's beanies or women. And then I've got a couple more over there. But I opened my Etsy store back up last night, and someone actually bought something. I was so excited. So thank you to Julie in Massachusetts. Your hat, I will have Lee drop it at the post office tomorrow, which will be Saturday, and get it to you ASAP. I made a scarf for my uncle. I really liked this textured pattern, and I made it with a really high quality wool yarn, finished it, put it in the washing machine per the instructions, and took it out, and there were a couple places where the yarn just came apart. So obviously I'm not going to give that to my uncle. And if you are somebody who crochets and you're on this channel because you crochet, I order my yarn from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and they have amazing customer service. I called them and told them what happened. They refunded me. I think it was $57 I spent just on the yarn. They refunded me that money, and they're gonna deal with the manufacturer instead of making me do that. So I highly recommend ordering from Jimmy Bean's Wool if you knit or crochet or weave or whatever. The best customer service. So that's that. The other thing I've been up to, this is the hat I made for myself. I didn't sell these because the yarn, I don't remember exactly how much, but the yarn is it's like $40 just in yarn, and then the palm on top. So like it's good stuff. But this is the one that I made for myself. It's hand dyed wool, and then I get this palm from a seller on Etsy, but that's the hat I made for myself too. But I don't really, I mean, I guess I could make these and sell them if someone wanted one, but it cost me like $50 just to make it. That's like the cost of supplies, so it's not really practical to make a lot of, but it's definitely something I could do on a custom thing. Anywho, so the other thing that happened, which if you follow the channel, then you probably know, I posted like a short video where I was in the hospital, and a bunch of people asked me, of course, you know, well, what are you in the hospital for? And it's not that I wasn't being secretive, it's just that when I made that video, it really wasn't important why I was in the hospital. But so what happened was, what is today? Today's Friday. So last Saturday, I woke up and I just was not feeling well. I felt weak and nauseous and just a faint headache. And then I started running a low-grade temp, and then I couldn't eat. So at some point, I went and took a nap. And when I woke up from my nap, my temperature was like 102.3, and I had like a 10 out of 10 headache. I had a severe headache, nausea, and then the high fever. And I have a VP shunt now. It's a shunt that runs from my brain. It goes behind my ear, my neck, down my chest, and into my abdomen to drain off extra fluid. And we were told that anytime I have, you know, like fever and headaches, stuff like that, like you have to get the shunt checked. So I reluctantly went to UAB. I thought they would just take some images and check my shunt and make sure it looked okay and send me home, is kind of what I expected. But I ended up being there for 3 days. The first 24 hours I was on that stretcher in the emergency room and was miserable. I was just so unbelievably miserable in the ER. But the staff, all but one person, there was an incident with a tech, but it doesn't matter. But the staff were amazing at UAB in Birmingham, Alabama. They were absolutely amazing. Everybody was so kind. I'm not gonna cry. I am not a crier. I've never been a crier, but when I talk to people about how grateful I am for something, or like something that somebody has done for me, I get super emotional and super whatever. So the video I took in the hospital where I'm crying a little bit, that's not for social media. That's real. I'm not an actor, but I just really appreciate it when people are kind and patient and nice, and you know, when you're relying on other people for help, you're not in control, and it's scary, and it's a helpless feeling. It's not a welcome feeling, and it's just really nice when you have good people that are there for you. It makes all the difference. And once I finally got up to the floor, I pretty much kicked Lee out, because number one, he snores way too loud, and number two, his brother was in town, who he doesn't get to see very much, and had a hotel in Birmingham. So I was like, go be with your brother, have lots of fun. I'm good. And I enjoyed that big comfy bed and basically room service, because they have like a menu, and I'm sitting here playing with a lighter. I got this off of Amazon too. Let's see. It's a rechargeable. Let's see if it'll focus. Why are you not focused? There it goes. It's a rechargeable lighter. You just push it up. And then you press the little button right there. And light your candle. And it's rechargeable, and I don't know why I'm playing with it, but hell, I'll drop a link for that below. But anyways, so Lee got to spend some time with his brother. He was with me during the day, and then left me there at night, which was totally fine. But back to why I was in the hospital. My flu came back negative. My COVID came back negative. My white count was a little bit high. But just with my complicated history, they wanted to be on the safe side, and they were worried that the antibiotics I had in the ER could have masked something, and just really just an abundance of caution to make sure that I was okay and my shunt was okay. And that's why when I did that video, I was just like, you know, I'm back in the hospital, no big deal. And then I went on to the point of the video, because it's really not that interesting why I was in the hospital. It was just to make sure that I didn't have another problem with my shunt, because your shunt can kill you, obviously, and we want to be careful with that. And then I came home, been spending time with the kids, who I hope to like introduce kind of on here one day, but they're teenagers with their own social medias, their own identities, and I just want to be careful and make sure that if they are on here, that, you know, I have their consent and they're okay with it. It's something that they want to do. I'm not going to subject my kids to internet trolls for clicks or views or whatever. It's just not my thing. But anyways, been hanging out with them, and I had PT today. My dad took me because I can't drive. Lee's at work. Kids are with her dad this weekend, so I got to hang out with him. He took me to therapy, where of course I can't take my dad anywhere because he gets, well, I was gonna say he gets hit on, but they don't really hit on him. They make comments about how good looking they think he is, and it's super annoying. But can't take this one anywhere. As soon as we walked out, all the therapists, your dad sure is a good looking man. And Barbara in the back, yes he is. How does it feel to be a celebrity, Dad? Gosh. You have a lot of YouTube fans too, you know that? You have a lot of, what, do you want to say anything to your YouTube fans?
Hello, I guess. I don't know.
From all over the world.
Yeah, boy.
Well, we had PT and headed back home. So, bye. But thanks, Dad. Thanks for taking me to therapy.
I heard that. I heard somebody say that. I thought somebody else talked to somebody.
There she is. Kim, what would you like to say to all of YouTube
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
about your lovely friend here?
Oh, she's awesome. She's amazing. We're glad she's here with us.
This is my dad, Kim.
I saw. That's what they were telling me. He looks too young to be your dad.
I can't take him nowhere. He's always getting hit on. What do you want to? This is Angie.
Hello.
What would you? Is there anything that you would like to tell YouTube?
This person right here is absolutely wonderful. I love her. She's a beast. And she's going to do great.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
And we've kind of touched on it a little bit. I haven't gone too deep in it, but my mother-in-law does live with me, and she's having some issues, and I want to respect her privacy, but that takes up a lot of our time. But we recently hired someone to help with her, and it's actually Lee's ex-wife, Celeste, and it has been the best decision. She is wonderful with Marie. She is patient and just so good to her, and it's good for Marie, and she's really good for me, and I could not be more happy with this arrangement. Lee keeps asking me, like, are you sure? Because, you know, most women would not be okay with this, and I'm like, no, I like 1000% am thrilled. It's better for everybody. So let me know what you guys think in the comments based on everything I said about the direction of this channel and my future. You know, what do you think? I don't know. Just I guess just thanks for being here, and just like my intro says, you know, I truly am figuring out this new life and how I want to spend my time, and so that's kind of what this video is. And until I do that, this type of video may be the new normal. I don't know. We'll see how it does. We'll see how many views it gets and what you guys say in the comments. So I am having fun learning content creation and video editing and just all of the things. I find that fun. So yeah, unless something changes, I will try to do this again in a week or so and see where we're at. Hopefully when I am able to walk some more, become more mobile, then I can branch. I don't know. It's just been difficult being confined in this wheelchair, and it's just too hard to set up different camera shots and blah 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 blah. So anyways, that's all the updates I have for you. If you made it through this whole video, bless you. If you made it through this whole video, thank you. Even if you are a hater, your view counts too. Yeah, I hope you guys have the best weekend. Thank you all for being so kind and understanding, and just, I don't know, I really feel a friendship with some of you, and some of the like names I see over and over, and that's really cool, and you guys are great. Yeah, I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.